Hello, welcome everybody to the Brian Speaks on YouTube channel. Anyway, enough with the pleasantries. Let's get right into it, shall we? Again, I always start with the disclaimer when it comes to my channel that the object and purpose of my channel is I discuss topics that are more or less relevant to a particular moment in time, current affairs wise, and it could cover a gambit of topics. It could stretch from anything from sociology, black urban studies, global economics, politics. It's whatever's really hitting right now. Um, that being said, I am focusing on a specific um, chapter and verse series. So for the next, I don't know how many videos, and it's probably going to be over 10, it's going to be dedicated to a specific topic in general, but it's going to be broken down into, different chapters, focusing on specific stuff. Normally, what I do is, like I said, I'll talk about a hot button topic, but then I'll approach it from an obscure point of view, bring up some, bring up some thoughts and some perspectives that fall outside of the general, focus of a topic. This one, again, I want to really deconstruct, and I believe that it takes a lot of different um, courses for this. So not to say that I'm hosting a master class because I am a jack of all trades, a master of none, but it's all good. I'm just a guy on the internet with an opinion like so many others, and hopefully my opinion just resonates with some people, and y'all will like it, y'all will share it, y'all will subscribe, whatever. But anyway, the first chapter of my master class, it really focuses on what I am calling the positive black manosphere. So, within the positive black manosphere, what I am focusing on is talking about things in relation to black men, things that need to be spoken about more openly, honestly, but constructively, not destructively. It is meant to better, not batter. You know what I mean? So, I'm not here to be a shock jock. I'm not here to act like some negative, toxic influencer. That's not, the purpose of this vlog series. Is actually almost to the opposite. It is to engage in constructive dialogue, to chop it up in a way that makes us better and not worse. In a way that we are able to focus on us the way that we should have been and we should be, and yet we are not. I think there's a lot going on in today's society, especially virtually, where it's almost like we have the tools for our betterment, but we choose to use it for our destruction. And I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of at least being a voice of an alternate, viewpoint. Some little pocket dimension corner oasis that some people who actually care can come to and feel like they can listen to something that relates to what they want, which is our betterment and not our further division. We're already divided enough as it is. But with that being said, the first chapter that I made in my vlog series specified the aspects of physical health with black men. This was inspired by some conversations that I had with my wife in relation to the recent death of a prominent influencer. I'll just put it that way. Your version of how you felt about him is subjective to the person. And again, I'm not here to glorify that on any level, positive or negative. You know, I'm talking about this right here. And today's chapter is going to focus on mental health for black men, specifically black men. it's for all men, you know what I mean? But it's such a more prevalent, issue within the black community between the genders. And respectfully, I say this respectfully, as it goes in relation to the genders, it's not about the women on in this series. It's about the men because we men need to focus on us to be better. Not necessarily to be better for women, but to be better so that we can be worthy of the things that we seek and the things that we aspire for and have ambitions towards. Being a better man should be one of the highest things you should have an ambition for. With being a better man comes better things, better relationships, so on and so forth. So I feel like I want to just, again, constructively talk about things. I'm not here to badger. I'm not here to like try to, you know, devalue us as black men. I'm not here to talk down to black men. There's enough of that going on. Adding me to the mix does no further good. Um, and it doesn't hurt to try to talk about something from a more positive frame of view. So I, in my old school method, you know, and I gotta put my glasses on, actually have bullet point notes that I want to do this chapter and verse to. I am a writer by passion. I wish it was by trade. We're working on that. See, that's what it's all about, working on ourselves and getting better. So, one of the definitely one of my top passions is writing. It is something that I have strayed away from here and there and gotten back to. And doing things like this does actually help. And that's what it's all about. It's about seeking things that provide mental therapy that stimulates you and inspires you to pursue the things that you should be pursuing for your own individual happiness. That's what mental health should be. The foundation of mental health is more or less, that's how I would base it on. So with that being said, when talking about men's mental health, black men in particular, like I said, I think one of the biggest things that we need to start with is the fact that we come from a history of having very strong feelings against seeking mental therapy for our dysfunctional behavior, for our traumas. You know, whether or not you believe in like epigenetic trauma being passed down from generation to generation, even if you just feel like it's just you and your life, nothing that happened before affects you, it's still just as vital and just as important. We have built up like this strong resistance to seeking therapy and things of that nature to better our mental health for a variety of reasons. There's a lot of distrust in all forms of medical fields as it applies to black people. But what we need to do is we need to start overcoming our fears, deprogramming ourselves from the stigmas that we have, created within our culture in regards to mental health. We have developed this stigma about mental health and expressing our vulnerabilities as representing being weak, being, less masculine, less macho, and there are a bunch of negative connotations associated with talking about the things mentally that keep us stagnant, that keep us limited in our growth, that are preventing us from becoming better men. Things that we need to get off of our chest and out of our heads because we cannot be the things that we demand we be recognized as and try to command ourselves to be given a certain respect towards if we are not becoming the things that we demand that we want to be seen as. So again, the discomfort of showing vulnerability is something that I know is not strictly inherent to black men, but again, this is such a prevalent issue within black culture, black American culture especially, that I want to focus on that. Showing vulnerability openly is one of the strongest things that you can actually do, is to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. It doesn't mean that you are weak. It means that you are human and you have things that happen to you. We've all been hurt. We've all been betrayed. I mean, once you get to a certain age, if you haven't been betrayed or hurt emotionally and are not suffering some kind of mental trauma from that, then God bless you. Lord knows I'm not in that boat. I wish I could say that I was, but such is life. And we need to break away from the toxic traditions that have been implanted within us. See, this goes back to my epigenetic um, pinpoint. Things get passed down. Toxic masculinity is one of those things. Things that deal with subconsciously thinking of things from the standpoint of patriarchy, misogyny, looking at us above, first and above all else, above all others. We wonder why we don't get along with our counterparts. A big portion of that is based in that. We need to learn how to accept that. We need to learn how to see it, acknowledge it, and rectify that within ourselves. Pretty much all men deal with that, even men that were raised by women, and black men in particular have kind of like an added layer of patriarchy, in the sense that we already see ourselves with something of an inferiority complex within American society. So we don't feel powerful within American society as men, as black men. And when you have a particular kind of insecurity about yourself, one of the drawbacks that most people do is you look for somebody else to be more powerful than, so that you yourself can feel strong. That's toxic. That's what they call problematic and toxic and stuff like that. It's not strictly a male issue. It's not a black male issue. But again, I am specifying talking about black men. So again, when you're a black man and you feel like society is against you, the system has been established to keep you in a particular place, you already have this inferiority complex. You take it out on the one group of people who you hold more power over, or you believe you hold more power over. And for us, that has been black women. So again, in order to feel big, you shouldn't be making somebody else feel small, regardless of who it is, what gender, what demographic, what phenotype, none of that. Feeling big by making someone else feel small is artificial and it's fake. And it's one of the reasons why we have such fragile egos in the first place. We have not built our own confidence up, our self-confidence. We have not built ourselves up to be resilient and to be truly strong. We give off this false image, persona, mask of strength, and it is based in insecurity. And a lot of us don't even realize that these are the behaviors that we are acting out. And it's, again, so crucial that we learn to acknowledge these things by first recognizing these things and then being proactive in healing ourselves and making ourselves better. So again, you have to be comfortable with becoming vulnerable. Understand that vulnerability is a human trait. It is something inherent in all people. You have to be vulnerable at some point in order to be introspective, learn about yourself, and learn what it is about yourself that's great. It's not like you're just this inherently bad person either. It's just a matter of recognizing the things that are preventing you from growing and eliminating those things slowly or as quickly as you can. You can't overwhelm yourself. You got to take things piece by piece. So another big thing to understand is that mental health is about you. It's about becoming a better you. But at the very same time, it's also bigger than you. You're not just becoming a better you strictly for you. You know, you being a better person affects your entire orbit around you. Anybody that's in your orbit is affected by you and your behavior, positively or negatively. So if you want to be a better person, you're being a better person as a side effect for everyone in your orbit as well. So when you get better, you benefit others. You become a gift in their life rather than a curse. So focus on you, but understand that as a side byproduct, you also get all of these other benefits that are bigger than you in regards to your world, your individual world, and the people within it. You know, mental health is, related to the one common denominator in every one of your relationships, and that's you. You are the common denominator in all of your relationships. Depending on how many relationships you've had, I can't say quantity represents a particular thing. I won't, I'm not here to judge or go through people's numbers and things like that. I would, in my novice opinion, say that if you've had a bunch of relationships, it's almost as if you haven't figured out, where you fit. And again, it's trial by error. Life is trial by error, So again, I'm not judging it, but I feel like people who have had more success or at least a higher quality of relationship success have maybe had less relationships. Like I'm talking about like not just dating. Dating is, to me, that's not a relationship. Dating is dating. But being in a relationship, like giving a particular level of emotional investment into another person. So when you experience like rapid turnover, well, the people may be different, but you're the common denominator in all that. So it can't always be everybody else's fault. Eventually, you have to look at yourself. You have to look in a mirror. You have to be introspective. You have to like a spiritual mirror, not like, well, I mean, you can look in a physical mirror too, I guess, but you need to give yourself like an introspective mirror and look honestly at your behaviors, your habits, what led you to an impasse in each relationship. It's not always your fault, you know. But you are the common denominator though. So it may not be your fault that things ended, but what behaviors, what energy do you give off? What are you attracting? Who are you attracting, I should say? Who are you attracting at? Are you attracting a particular type of personality just in different women or men, you know, or whatever? um, is there a pattern? This is the thing about being honest with oneself, is to recognize patterns and see, you're trying to figure out what's derailing you. So again, understand you're the common denominator in all this. Also, understand that you attract the treatment that you get by the energy that you give off. If you carry yourself in a particular way, authentically, not this false bravado stuff. When you authentically carry yourself in a particular way, you are going to attract a similar vibration from another person. If you're carrying a low vibration, you're going to attract low vibration people. And the lower you go, the more the quantity, because the higher you go, what does it say? Like the air gets thinner as you go higher. There's less congestion among people the higher you get in terms of value scale. So if you're going to be a low vibration person, you have to understand what comes with that. And if you want to do better, then you have to be better. It's a very simple thing philosophically. I understand, practically speaking, it's not the easiest thing to just turn your switch on to and become, but it's all about progression. It's all about establishing acceptance and acknowledgement and then taking it one step at a time. Mental health is the catalyst for all of that. You know, mental health is the thing that it's the driving force in everything that you do. It starts with mental health. If you are mentally healthy, you will have the drive that you need to accomplish the goals that you're seeking. It's not simply about relationships, it's about personal quality of life, happiness, fulfillment. If you're not mentally healthy, these things are not going to come to you. And if they do, they're going to come at a very low grade level. You know, you're going to get the most, you know, unfiltered version of the gas. You're going to get the gas with all the contaminants and all the minerals and stuff in it, the deposits. And you want, I would imagine, you want better. You want better quality. You want a better quality of life. You want to better yourself. So you have to recognize that being mentally healthy and strong, building that mental resiliency, getting past your past, getting, I read a quote that was really cool. It was grow through what you go through, and I really dig that. Grow through what you go through. It's a really cool quote. To me, that encompasses the importance of strong mental health. And pay no mind to my cat. Again, it's the strength within you, the resilience. Build that up within yourself. Also understand that, the healthier you are mentally, the better the quality of your life will be. Whatever your standards are, that's up to you. But when you're mentally healthy, your quality of standard will be better. True strength is in mental health strength. And true strength comes from having the strength to be vulnerable and get stronger from within. And don't do it for the sake of becoming more attractive to people. You're not doing it for anybody else, you're doing it for yourself. So do it for yourself, and everything else will come naturally with that. Focus on you. It sounds very selfish, but it starts with you. Everything else, it's inside out. It starts with you and it branches out to everyone else. Everyone becomes a beneficiary of you being a better man. I wanted to be a better man for numerous reasons, and I've worked on myself over the years. I just wanted to have a better quality of life. I wanted to be more than just what I saw as an awesome guy. I wanted to be an awesome father, and I wanted to be an awesome symbol. I would like to believe that I have accomplished, hopefully accomplished it for the most part, but I am a work in progress. I am not perfect. And I recognize that and I acknowledge that, and it gives me the drive to constantly want to be better. And maybe it's a little obsessive, but I'd rather be obsessed with getting better than being content with being mediocre. So hopefully that helps you out. Anyway, I've gone longer than what I already planned. I'm going to wrap this up right now. Peace and love to everybody. To the fellas, let's talk about this. Let's start unpacking. It's the only way that we're going to make this better. If we're really the leaders that we say we are, and we're the people that are meant to lead the way, we need to get better. People don't want to be led by some dysfunctional person who has more problems than them. If you're really about that desire, you have to work on yourself. I'm working on myself. Let's work on ourselves together. And maybe if we're all doing it at the same time, there's the win for us all. Anyway, peace and love. See you next one.